I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. He's a professional skater. He's been in New York, he's been in Miami, he's been everywhere. And he landed in Mosaic, LA. And God's been doing such an incredible thing in his life. He's an awesome human being. Let's welcome Felix. Welcome Felix. So I have a couple questions for Felix. I want us just to look at a practical way of what it means to achieve greatness. I want us just to see what it looks like to have flesh and blood and achieve something that most people will never achieve in their lifetime. So my first question for you, Felix, is what age did you start your craft?
I have kind of like a two-part answer. So as a child, I had a bunch of toys. One of the toys happened to be a skateboard. It stood next to a basketball, football, wiffle ball bat, and some roller skates. Me and my friends used to drink a bunch of sodas and line them up and do this thing where you went between the cans. But I wanted to be the baddest kid on the block, so I saved money for a whole year and I bought the big bad wooden skateboard, and then everybody left the block and I had nobody to skateboard with. So I took my big bad $125 wooden skateboard and put it in the closet. A couple years later, I went to a party in high school, met some real skateboarders, and actually my first mentors, I told them what kind of skateboard I had, and that's what kind of brought them to kind of actually come check it out and sort of adopt me into their crew.
Yeah.
I showed them my skateboard, they started jumping around on it, and they actually cracked it.
Oh,
so here's my $125 broken in front of my face. I'm almost crying in front of my house, and they adopted me. And it was kind of like that first step into like my craft and just taking a path on this journey that got me here on the stage 30 countries later. It's been all I've ever done for the last about, well, 25 years professionally. So.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I started skateboarding seriously about 1985 with these guys in high school.
I say tell us because you do so many things now. And I just love how you reinvented yourself.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone earlier about that.
Well, it was interesting because when I turned professional, I was able to actually flex some more of my artistic ability by putting some of my graphics ideas. Like I only did good in graphics and art in high school. So I was able to put some art on a skateboard, and my skateboards were sold all over the world when I turned pro. So it was interesting that a skateboard was able to give me a vehicle to kind of become a designer. And then that skateboard then brought me all over the world, and 30 countries later, and like thousands of kids that I was able to meet helped me kind of communicate. Yeah. Then I was invited to start hosting events. So I kind of host our version of the NBA, which is called Street League. Yeah. So indirectly, my toy, instead of it just being used and discarded, it actually taught me a whole bunch. Depending on what you really get into, if you put in the time and the energy, and you keep an open mind, you'll be able to learn a lot and maybe carve out of a craft, out of whatever your passion is. Yeah. So just along the way, did you ever feel like giving up or just throwing that thing in the trash? I mean, skateboarding hurts. If anybody skateboard out here? Yeah, any skaters? Skaters in the house? Skateboarding hurts, you know, so every time you fall down, you kind of have that blink of a moment where you're just kind of like, man, am I going to get back up again? Yeah. But it's been a lot of patience, a lot of focus, and a lot of faith. I'm 45 years old, so when I started skateboarding, everything wasn't really invented. Yeah. So it's kind of faith. Like I stood on my board and I'm just like, can this really even happen? And I would just like try something for a while, and then eventually stuff would happen. Yeah. So even to this day, if I don't have a fresh scab on me, I kind of feel like I'm not doing my gig, you know? Yeah. So every day when I wake up, if I'm healthy, God willing, I go out and I skateboard. But it's a regular thought, you know. But you gotta really just stay focused and have a lot of patience, and then work at your level. Yeah. You know, a lot of times your friends, just for fun, they'll kind of launch you off some stuff, and they want to, you know, it's funny who's your friend. Sometimes they want to laugh at you, and sometimes they want to help you. Just focus. It's really about focus, faith, and finding something to kind of take you to a higher place of focus to get you to that next level. Yeah. What is it that you think of every time you pick up your board? What is it every time you're going to go down the ramp, or what does it feel like? It's been interesting. It's been a blessing. I never thought. I just got back from Africa. It's like I never thought that something that was a hobby could take me so far. So I'm really grateful. Gratefulness is the first thing, but then I kind of feel a bigger responsibility. When I started skateboarding, there wasn't a lot of minorities in the sport. There wasn't the internet, so I'd get mail. Yeah. And I started getting mail from these guys, and it kind of started feeling like there was more than just me on my skateboard. Yeah. So I really am about a mentorship program. I have a skateboard company called Ammo. I have a team that's kind of like a mentorship program. Usually people build programs that's kind of like the Yankees against the Dodgers, and they want someone to beat somebody else and have the best team. And what's different than that is I try to relay bigger message than that. Like, I want the vehicle that gave me everything in life to be able to pass down to other generations, and I just feel a responsibility to do something greater than just ride a skateboard.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us what are some of the sacrifices that you've had to?
I mean, I left my family a long time ago on the East Coast, and that's been the biggest challenge for me. You know, my father just recently passed away about a month ago. He left his country in Cuba because of communism, so I could be free and live the American dream. As soon as I chose a path and I chose a journey, I never really looked back for two reasons. One, because I had an opportunity to be free and do that, and then two, because, well, I kind of didn't want to go back to school. I'll be frank with you, I didn't want to go back to school, but I really didn't want to let my parents down.
Yeah.
That was my biggest sacrifice. Couple relationships, I really put nothing before skateboarding because everything seemed like an obstacle. I even strayed away from faith for a while because I had no time to be in church on Sunday. Yeah. You know, but I'm coming back to faith and tying my belief in the greater power above. And, yeah. I mean, Philippians 4:13, all things are possible through Him who gives you strength.
That's good.
How can you not get back up when you know the journey that our Father went through? You know, it's been a really interesting journey. And we've only just begun.
Yeah, that's incredible. What are some of the things that, do you think that you were born with talent, or do you think it's something that you have to work for?
It's tough because when talent doesn't work hard, hard work's always going to be talent. When you're really talented, they're going to want you to do a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So a lazy, talented person isn't really going to be known, so your talent won't really get recognized. Yeah. What is that worth, you know? I've never been gifted with any kind of extra ability in skateboarding. I kind of, one of my friends here, Diego Najera, he's so graceful. He's like a natural skateboarder. Yeah. Like for me, I'm more of I kind of say I'm like a UFC fighter on a skateboard. I've had to kind of fight for every little thing that happens, but I'm fine with that. Yeah. Because no matter how many times I have to get up or just endure and conquer to be able to accomplish that right away, it's really worth it. So I definitely would put hard work in any kind of field, in any kind of hobby, in any kind of talent-driven thing. Hard work will always come first, but it's going to be dependent on either before or after.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome, man. Thank you for just giving us some insight on what it looks like. Yeah,
it's a humbling experience. Thank you guys for having me, and honestly, just believe in whatever you're about. Malcolm Gladwell made the 10,000-hour rule famous, and honestly, just stick to it. Maybe you can't work at the level of somebody else that you're looking at, but you're going to be working at your own level. And as long as you can push yourself forward one step further each day, you're going in the right direction. And have faith in something greater than you to kind of core that and just grow your space.
That's amazing. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
What I love about Felix is that he's discovering that talent without character is destructive. And it's just so awesome to see him just mentor the younger generation and tell them how much it matters to be healthy inside.